Hello and welcome back to another episode. Now, today is an entirely unexpected episode, insomuch as last night I sat down and saw my Wii U gamepad flashing at me. The circle of the home button, the blue ring, was flashing, indicating that I've received a message. And normally this is a message from Nintendo, an offer for the eStore, like 10% off Zelda or something like that. And so I turned on the gamepad expecting just to see one of these offers, and that is what I got. But I also got, along with that, a reminder that we're in the midst of the 25th anniversary of Kirby. Now, Kirby is an odd character, is he not? He's an odd Nintendo mascot, because for some people he's a half-baked mascot. He's not got the character of Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Link, Zelda, Wario and Luigi, and all these other mascots and characters that Nintendo seem to have put, in some respects, some more energy into actually forming. For some people, Kirby is a half-fat, a half-baked Nintendo icon. But for other people, Kirby is actually insidious. He's actually downright scary. One of my ex-girlfriends was genuinely terrified of Kirby. And who can blame her with adverts like this?
Recently, we compared two superheroes, Dashing Super Guy and Kirby from Nintendo. In some ways, Kirby lost big. No big hair, no big muscles, no weapons, nothing. All Kirby's got is appetite. Kirby's Dream Land, the thrilling new adventure game on Game Boy, launches its back and saving glorious Dreamland. He's Kirby, and he packs a mean bite. Kirby's Dream Land only on Game Boy. Game Boy sold separate.
I mean, the thing is, if you overthink Kirby, then yes, he is quite scary in that sense. The fact that he sucks in characters, transforms them and blows them out. The fact that he's a floating gelatinous mass. He could be seen as a little bit insidious. He's like a John Carpenter monster in some respects. But so yeah, I don't blame some people for being slightly scared of him. But for me, he's a very important Nintendo mascot because technically he was my first Nintendo character. I got Kirby's Dream Land packed in with my Game Boy, and today we're going to be playing it on the Super Game Boy via the SNES. And I have a mixture of feelings when it comes to Kirby, because it's undeniable that he doesn't. For example, at this first level here, it feels like it's a level designed for perhaps Mario. And in fact, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why perhaps the level feels a bit generically Nintendo-y, and the character feels a bit bland. And that's because initially Kirby was actually designed to be a placeholder character. He was going to be replaced by another sprite, by other pixels, as it were. But the game designer decided to keep him, and decided that his range of powers was enough to warrant being a character in his own right. But as a young man, as a boy playing this when I first got it, I did get the feeling that it felt a little bit like a slightly more kidsy version of Mario. At this point I'd played Mario and Zelda on my friends' Game Boys and certainly on my cousin's SNES, and I could recognise some of the for example the backgrounds as being a bit like Mario, and I couldn't help but wonder whether or not what I was getting, well, precisely what I was saying earlier, what some people accuse Kirby of being, that sort of half-fat, that not quite finished Nintendo character. But having spent enough time with Kirby, I came to love him. I've come to really treasure Kirby. It took a fair amount of time, but then again, at the time, people seem to forget that kids in the early 90s, when they got a Game Boy game, they only had really one or two Game Boy games at a time, and so I had no choice but to play Kirby a lot and to grow to love him. His range of powers are fairly straightforward. You press the B button to suck in air like a Hoover, like that. Let's see if I can grab an enemy. You press the B button again to blow them out as a star. You press the A button to jump, and you press up to inflate and float around the level. And then it is B again to blast out air when you're inflated. So it's a very simple control scheme, but it does make for a very effective character. Now here's an interesting thing. Originally Kirby on the box art for the game, indeed in the game, and also on the cartridge art, he is a white blob. And this is partly because of the green scale of the original Game Boy game. It simply couldn't handle the colour scheme that perhaps they might have preferred. The Kirby's designer actually preferred pink as the colour for Kirby, and Shigeru Miyamoto suggested that yellow would be a good colour. But pink has always been Kirby's official colour. I have to say, the first time I saw Kirby pink, though, I think it was on a poster, maybe in a computer game magazine, I was very distressed, because I had spent years playing Kirby as this white or very pale green character on my Game Boy screen. So for me, actually, Kirby is a little white blob like this, a bit like a blob of chewing gum or something. That said, though, you can get pink chewing gum, so I'm not complaining. Now, something which I sort of appreciated the more I played the game was the range of the range of ways that you could, for example, explore different parts of the levels. There are sometimes one-ups and special powers hidden off to the side and down the side of buildings. Like I thought there might have been one just there. But also it's the fact that actually they do play with this sort of slightly saccharine, sickly sweetness of the game, like the fact that he floats down and bounces on the floor to create a, well, dreamland. And that's this is Kirby's dreamland. But at the same time, it has that sensation of a Nintendo pedigree. I remember whenever I played this boss here, for example, it felt like something out of Zelda. I think it must have just been the forestness of it. And also, funnily enough, actually, I guess the Deku Tree eventually in the N64 is sort of in the same lineage-ish. And that was exciting for me at the time. Again, early 90s, you're not swimming in Nintendo games and money. And so any connection to the broader Nintendo canon was very welcome as a kid. Here we have one of Kirby's special powers. You suck up a microphone, blast it out, and your singing apparently makes everyone explode. And in that sense, the game continues it with its theme, this sort of dreamlike theme, not only in a childish and child-friendly way, but also actually in a slightly nightmarish way. Look at some of the bad guys that are floating around on screen at the moment. The way that they've taken aspects of, for example, Mario, like the question mark blocks, and added masks that spin and attack you. The game's actually quite insidious, and just as with the way that my ex-girlfriend really couldn't stand Kirby. Again, in some ways you can't blame her, because the imagery is a bit odd. Now this bad guy here, I used to call him Spike Eyes, and Spike Eyes actually turns up in Zelda, in Link's Awakening on the Game Boy. The little spiky balls with eyes there. They actually turn up on the beach right at the beginning of Link's Awakening, and I remember recognizing Spike Eyes in Zelda, having played this game so much prior to getting hold of Zelda. Ooh. Now I think all of this is meant to be like sugar and sweet and cola for water and all this kind of thing, and the ultimate, I think one of the bad guys in this, the ultimate bad guy in this game, I seem to recall, is King Dedede, who in later Kirby games, I do believe, is a good guy, or certainly at least maybe not as bad as he once was. And to be honest, sometimes the specifics slightly escape me. But I do remember with King Dedede always thinking that was must have been some sort of mistake. Sounds like someone's accidentally typed DD twice. I always used to call him King Dedede, but apparently it is King Dedede. Who knew? Eventually in the series you get characters like Meta Knight turning up as well, and so Kirby has added to the Nintendo pantheon, but I would say sadly I don't think he has ever quite broken through to being in that top tier of Nintendo characters. That said, though, he's not to be taken too lightly, in so much as he is a character who is regularly in the top 5, certainly the top 10 of characters to fight with on Super Smash Bros. Kirby people frequently talk about how exciting Kirby is as a fighter and all of his potential. Probably because of those nefarious elements that we've talked about previously. He's bouncy, he's squishy, he sucks in bad guys, he sucks other people's powers away from them. He is deceptively cute and not to be trifled with. Now then. Ah! Okay. So yeah, Kirby, 25 years. I wasn't really keeping an eye out for this, and maybe I should have been. But you can't keep an eye out for every anniversary, I guess. But it is interesting how I think Nintendo have been a little bit quieter about Kirby than they have been, for example, for the Zelda and Mario 30th anniversaries recently. So I think this ongoing discussion as to what sort of character Kirby represents for Nintendo, whether he's sort of a grade A or grade B, this debate will continue. For me, he's always going to be worth a pick up and play. And as I say, part of me actually, I find it kind of amusing that for some people he's genuinely scary. It's like like clowns. I mean, I'm not particularly scared of clowns, but I can completely understand why some people are scared of clowns. But with Kirby, I don't quite understand it. I don't quite, I mean, yeah, it's a bit odd, but I don't know, it makes me giggle. The idea of putting someone in a room with Kirby and saying, tell us where the treasure is. No, I'll do anything. Just get Kirby. Ah! Like a Kirby plush or something on the table. Oh, I remember that guy. Like James Bond, just sort of breaking at the sight of Kirby. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's quite a common thing to be a bit scared of Kirby, or a bit skeptical, shall we say, of Kirby and his status as a lovable, cute little blob. Yeah, comment below if you grew up a little bit scared of Kirby. Please do let me know. But personally, I don't know. It's never really occurred to me to question the man. But then again, he might have some evil plans. Maybe he what happens inside him when you're being transmogrified into a star is horrifying. Something like something from Alien. The places you can go with Kirby, and that's something you can't really do with Mario. I mean, that said though, I've heard a theory that Mario is was it on Game Theory? Probably wasn't Game Theory. That Mario is in fact the source of an infection in Mushroom Kingdom. Mario is the bad guy, apparently. Mario and the Toads. Check it out. It's worth a look. So yeah, these alternate theories about Nintendo characters. Maybe Kirby is the bad guy. Maybe you're looking at the most nefarious, terrifying, alien gelatinous blob, a parasitic, insidious creature. Yep, I'm rambling now. I really am. I don't care. No, in all seriousness, like I say, 25 years of Kirby, I simply had to mark it somehow because he has been important to me, and I don't know. I suppose in recent years, it's worth noting that the cutesiness of Kirby has been overplayed to the point that yes, I have lost some interest in the character. But even then, I think what Nintendo have managed to do, they've managed to use Kirby and actually now Yoshi as well in ways which are intriguing. So in terms of the art style, for example, Epic Yarn, Woolly World, all these sort of was it the one with clay that Kirby was in recently. Or not that recently, but you know what I mean. Fairly recently. It's like yeah. So in that sense, like, Nintendo knows how to use Kirby effectively. But I think that's kind of the place that I'm at the moment, is that I'd probably play Kirby, as a an aesthetic oddity, if there's something. I'd probably pick up a Kirby game in order to play the clay looking graphics in high definition. And maybe that's entirely the point. When I was getting at how Kirby isn't quite in the same league as the other Nintendo characters, is that he hasn't got enough character to warrant. You don't go, yay, the new Kirby game. You tend to go, yay, the new Zelda game, or you're definitely interested in the new Mario game. But the new Kirby game, normally people talk about, especially lately, the graphical style. He is not that much of a character. I know he does technically have a voice. I think since the early 2000s, I think they gave him a voice. But it's not like Charles Martinet and Mario, is it? Anyway. For what he is, Kirby is rightly iconic. And I'm more than happy to be celebrating 25 years of Kirby. Go away, go away. Oh, it's all got a bit Mega Man on me. Just go away. Oh, rats. Bugger off. Oh. Game over. Oh. Well, shall we leave it there then? Okay. As ever, guys, hopefully you found this interesting and or useful. Please do comment below if you have some good Kirby stories, or maybe, as I say, you know someone, or you are one of those people who find Kirby a bit scary. But as ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.